Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Q&A. Today's question is, I've been with my partner only 5 months, and despite it being a lovely relationship, I've had doubts pretty consistently the whole way through. I'm unsure if the doubts are my mind, self-generated, or genuine red flag gut feelings that are signaling the relationship is not right. When I put my mind away and focus on how I feel with him in the present instead of worrying about the future, nothing is wrong. We get along well, we laugh, he treats me so well, is kind, conscientious, affectionate, it's easy. So I don't know why I feel this way. The doubts are about whether we connect on an intellectual level. He's less cerebral than I, which I find refreshing sometimes. But sometimes I want more from our conversations. Other than that, our relationship feels good. I hope to hear your thoughts. Well, thank you for trusting me with your stories. What I observed right away is a kind of disconnect between your sensory experience, what you actually feel, and a mind overriding that experience. So a lot of it has to do with your overall sense of safety and trust in your abilities to make decisions that are right for you. Also, what are your expectations and beliefs about life and people in it, right? Are you able to relax into a present moment, or do you feel that you must remain vigilant in order to catch a problem and to catch a possible mistake in the making? So I would advise to follow that sense of discomfort that you feel, that sort of gnawing doubt in you, to follow it a little deeper, sit with it and try to understand where does it come from, because chances are this is not about this situation. This is something that's much older, that is sitting in you and is reminding you about something that has happened before. Perhaps you've made a mistake before, perhaps you were criticized, your choice was criticized, or you were shamed or judged for making a decision that ended up being, less than perfect. So from what you tell me, your partner seems to be a kind and affectionate and a warm person. So what is it about you, in your inability to relax in this present moment, right? Why do you feel you must remain vigilant? And also this sensory experience, right? That feeling that all is well, and when we don't have to worry about the future, what does that make us feel? Because we're bombarded by a lot of advice these days, and always, especially relationship advice, I find is quite separating and quite polarizing. So do you feel that maybe you are settling, right? Because there is so much advice that tries to empower women about don't settle, here are the red flags, pay attention, that we're afraid to even relax into these relationships and just let them follow some kind of a natural course. You're not together for so long, right? 5 months seems like a relatively short time, and if this person comes through as a kind and caring and nurturing person, then that sense of danger seems to be coming not so much from what he's doing, but something within you, right? So what is this alarm with which you live, and what does it say about your experience and your expectations? And talking about expectations, what else are we expecting from our partners, right? That kind of perfection. We want them to be everything. Esther Perel speaks about it a lot also, in that we have come, this romantic notion of the one, we have come to expect everything from this one person, but it's simply not realistic, right? And I hear you about the need for intellectual stimulation. I really understand that. But can you perhaps get that from your other relationships? Perhaps people at work, perhaps people who share your passion for whatever it is that attracts you outside of your relationship. So ultimately, also it's important to understand what is it that you are looking out of your relationship. Is it intellectual stimulation, or is it more, safety to be yourself, ease of communication, ability to be whoever you are without filters, being able to speak about difficult subjects. Do you feel seen, heard, and supported? Do you feel safe, right? Because although I also do understand if you cannot quite have that deep conversation with this person, does that sort of affect all the other feelings? Does it make his kindness and his availability fade in comparison? So there isn't a formula. That's what's so important to understand. It's all about what is it that is important to you? What are your values? What do you feel you need from a partner, right? And then only you can make a decision. But also realize that there aren't mistakes, right? Only experiences, and lessons, if you want. And if you are not focusing on the future and what the future may or may not be, and is he the one for you forever and ever, these are all conditioned sort of expectations anyway, right? There is no forever, there is no future. We're constantly shifting and evolving beings, and so are our partners. So as always, I bring you back into the present moment. And how do you feel in the now? And from what you tell me, when you let go of all the mental constructs and fears of the future or concerns about the future or any kind of mentalizing the situation, you seem safe and you seem at ease and you seem happy, then all is well. So I feel that there is more of override of your mental capacities over your sensory experience, because really from childhood we're pretty much disconnected from our gut feelings and are taught to override them, to be more responsible, to be more calculating. And of course, I'm all about really remaining in the present moment and being more in the sensory experience, because our body never lies. And it's difficult to distinguish this sense of alarm you're describing, that sense of doubt, and the actual feeling of relaxation. But only you can feel into this, right? Really try to be more of an observer, a witness of your own processes when you're with this person. And how does it feel when you are together? Can you relax? Can you relax, right? Not him relaxing you, but can you relax into the present moment? Can you appreciate his humor, his kindness, the fact that you laugh together and everything else? And is that inability to have a more intellectually deep conversation, is that really a hindrance, or is your mind grabbing onto a quality that may not be present and then sort of making it a make it or break it situation? And I strongly believe that we need to have many different relationships in our lives, because that's what makes a fulfilling and full life. And to expect that everything will come from one person is simply unrealistic. So ultimately, of course, you are the only authority in your life, and only you know what you feel in the presence of this person. So are you just afraid to make a mistake? Have you been criticized before? Have you made a mistake before, perhaps in choosing a person that ended up being somebody with whom you had to separate, and then you are still sort of unable to forgive yourself for that choice? These are all the questions that you need to think of, and only you know the answers to them. But I just warn you not to mix the actual feeling in your body and the mental vigilance that prevents us from being in the moment and worrying about making mistakes and having things be perfect. There are no perfect people, right? We just need to be very aware of what it is that we look for in our relationships. And then when we meet somebody who satisfies these criteria, or at least makes us feel the feelings that we want to feel in the presence of a partner, then we don't have to doubt that this is the right thing for us. I hope this was helpful. See you next week. Bye.